And hello YouTube, this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'm here today with another brand new video for Gaming with GS, and today we're here on Guild Wars 2, and I want to go over the patch that came yesterday for a Crack in the Ice. Living World Season 3, Episode 3 is now live, and we got tons of new stuff added into the game. I want to go over that, go over the patch notes, go over some of the changes, go over some of the additions, go over some of the cool things that I thought were really interesting, and basically just give you my opinion and run down the patch with you. Now, before we go any further, I do want to remind you, if you have not joined our 5,000 subscriber giveaway, we do have a giveaway going on right now for another 5 or 6 days, where we're giving away tons of prizes, skins, gold, Blackline keys, gem store items, lots of cool stuff, close to 1,000 or over 1,000 gold in value of prizes. So if you have not joined that giveaway yet, you can gain entries every day for it. So I will leave a link and a card on screen right now. If you want to join the giveaway, click that card on the top right corner and it'll bring you to the video and you can enter the giveaway. I also want to give a quick thanks to all of you who have been supporting the channel, who have been enjoying the giveaway. I see a lot of you have liked the giveaway, and several of you have become a Patreon. In fact, special thanks to Marcus Johnson and to Maxime Cote for pledging $5 on Patreon. Very appreciative, very helpful. And if you'd like to donate at least $3 to Patreon, you will benefit from getting extra entries into the giveaway and all future giveaways. Like I said, I'm going to try to do a giveaway every month or so, so you get extra entries to that. You'll also get access to some bonus videos. In fact, today's footage in the background is actually a few bonus videos I recorded today that you can actually watch full in its entirety, with commentary, with me geeking out about the new update, with me giving my first impressions, with my first experience playing the story of this new patch and of the new map and the new Fractal. So if you're interested in that bonus content, if you want more video content from me, and you want to, experience some of the more, personal style videos, because in these videos that are on Patreon, I tend to be a bit more personal, I tend to be more conversational, and it's a bit more relaxed video. So if you want to watch those videos, you can go ahead and do so. All you got to do is pledge $3 and you'll get a ton of other bonuses along with that. You can check the Patreon page out. Link is in the bottom of the screen. So let's go ahead and jump into that right now. What do we get for this new patch? Well, we got a brand new map called Bitterfrost Frontier. Now, as expected, this is going to be in the Far Shiver Peaks, as we already knew, and it's going to be right above Frost Gorge Sound. Now, the size of this map is not very big. It's actually almost the same size as Bloodstone Fen and Ember Bay. It's like a small little, it's not really small, but it's a long, wide rectangle right above Frost Gorge Sound. What's curious to me is we're getting a lot of these. They're obviously not as big of a map as, say, Queensdale or Frost Gorge Sound or, Auric Basin. They're not that huge. I would say they're about a third of that size, or maybe I'll push it a little bit to half even, but most like a third. So I'm very curious to see if this is basically the largest map they can produce within the given time to release a new map every 2 months or so. If that's the case, I'm completely fine with that, because this map looks beautiful. There's so many good things I want to say about this map. There's so many things to do in this map. I've seen so many elements that they've implemented into this map, whether it be the cold weather, whether it be the windy winds that slow you down and damage you, whether it be the warmth that you need to get from the Codon Flame, whether it be underwater combat that has been implemented, whether it be, these snowy forests that are just huge forests, the huge cliffs that you can go on top of and fly down from. This map is beautifully done, and we thought that there weren't going to be many new assets in this map. In fact, the trailer didn't show many new assets, but it does look like we have a lot of new assets in this map, and this map looks plainly beautiful. Lots of different areas in the map. We have an area in the map with greenery, we have an area in the map with a forest, we have the area in the map with underwater, with just snow fields, we have an area of the map with frozen water and underwater stuff. So nice variety. We have a hearts back in the map as well, so it seems like they've wanted to continue with the idea of hearts and rewarding you based off of repeatable hearts. I guess that's back into the map as well now. They've also added this map on top of Frost Gorge Sound, obviously, but there's also a direct way to get to this map now. There's no more having to waypoint into Bloodstone Fen because there's no other way to get to it, or using a portal scroll because there's no other way to get to it. This map, Bitterfrost Frontier, you can actually get to through the connection from Frostgorge Sound, which I really like because I like the fact that we're expanding our borders in the map and making it geographically accurate and allowing players to go through a portal to make it seem like they're actually traveling to the next map through a portal rather than just using a scroll or having to use a waypoint because there's no other way to get to it, like in Bloodstone Fen and like in Ember Bay. Well, with Ember Bay, I guess there is a way to it, but it's not very geographically accurate. So I really like that about the new map here. There's also a mix of underwater combat. Like I said, there is some underwater content. There's not a lot of underwater content, which I guess was wise because a lot of people don't like underwater content. Some of them do. Some people have been wanting Ariana to push underwater content a little more forward, but there is some of it in there. So if you want to experience it, there is some of it. There's also a brand new mastery track that's related to the map, and it deals with Kodan's Flame, where you can basically wield Kodan fire magic, learn new skills, and basically protect yourself from the weather, protect yourself from the winds, and it allows you to gain special fire magic skills that you can learn from the Kodan and obviously level through the mastery system. They also have included the explosive things that you jump from, the ones that shoot you in the air from Ember Bay. Well, we now have the ice version of those also in the new map, which I really like. There's only 2 waypoints in the new map, but there's lots of little explosive areas where you can just jump in and it shoots you across the map, which is also really cool. Also a new Ascended Aqua Breather. It seems like Ascended underwater gear is coming. We have an Ascended Aqua Breather now you can actually get from the map. So if you're interested in that, if you want to max out your gear completely, then you can get that. I don't have an Ascended Aqua Breather yet. I don't know if I want to get it, but it is there. I'm probably going to look into getting it once I have nothing else to go for. But it is there. Pretty cool. So lots of new content in this map, lots of neat little elements to work around with and to play around with, and this is just a beautiful map. One of my favorite areas is the forest that has these huge trees where the entire forest is so much in scale larger than your character. And this is what Guild Wars 2 needs. I feel like Guild Wars 2 is lacking on the scale of the world. The scale of the world seems a bit small when you're walking around in it. I mean, when you look at the map on the map screen, it looks huge, but when you're in the map, it feels like everything's just a bit too small. At least that's my experience. I've played other MMOs like Vanguard, World of Warcraft, EverQuest 2, and EverQuest 2 and Vanguard, that stuff was really huge in scale and your character looked really small. And I like that, I like feeling like I'm in the world where everything's, a bit bigger and it feels like you're in the world. So they did a really good job with the forest. The forest looks beautiful. Oh my god, it looks beautiful. I love that area, and in general the map looks amazing. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go ahead and check it out. You do have to complete the first little mission in the episode 3 of Living World Season 2. And I think then in the second mission you'll actually be able to go to the map. So you can't jump into the map right away, but you can after the first mission. So that's everything I want to go for the map. I will definitely go more in detail of all the events you can do, of all the rewards you can get, of the new currencies, of all the things you can do, you can get, you don't want to miss out on, all the little bonus extra things, the goodies you can get, some of the Easter eggs and whatnot. There's also a new cat that's available, a snow leopard. There's a snow leopard that you can now add to your home instance too, so another little cat that you can add to your home instance. So small things like that I'll definitely go over more in depth in the map video. I will be making a video specifically about the map that will go in more detail, just like with the last 2 maps, Ember Bay and Bloodstone Fen. So watch out for that video coming soon. Now, there is no PvP updates in this patch. We all had thought that every new huge patch they're going to add a new PvP map. Well, for the last 2 patches they did that, and this patch there's no PvP update at all. So my guess is they're going to separate these patches now. PvP might have their own patch, PvE might have their own patch, which is great for people who don't really care about one or the other pieces of game modes. So specific patches will be geared towards specific player bases, I guess, if you're in a specific player base and you don't like PvE or you don't like PvP. So I guess that's good too. New legendary shield is called ShooShadoo. Looks really cool. It seems to have a relation with Quaggan. It's like a fishbowl in the back of you as a shield, which is really cool. If you want to start that legendary journal, you have to talk to Grandmaster Hobbs and Lion's Arch, and you'll be on your way to start that. I really like this shield. Looks really interesting, and it may be something I want to go for, but the amount of materials you need for legendary crafting is just so immense and such a huge amount. So maybe I'll go for it. I'm not quite sure yet. But that's the new legendary weapon. We also have a new Nightmare Fractal, which we saw a trailer of, and it looked really cool. And I gotta say, I played the Fractal today. I got most of the achievements. I had a really good group with me that played the Fractal really well, and we got a lot of the achievements. And the Fractal's not so long, it's not so short. It's actually a really decently length Fractal. It's also really fun. I love doing the Fractal. It's not hard Fractal either. I think it's just the right difficulty. I think you know, as long as you're not sitting there pressing one, just, you know, you can alt tab and let your character attack, I think it's a good Fractal. You do have to pay attention, you do have to dodge, you do have to, you know, understand the mechanics. There are things you have to understand, and you do have to learn the mechanics of this Fractal. So there is a learning curve for this Fractal, but it's not a very difficult Fractal. I think if you like Fractals, this is definitely one to do. You know, it pretty much follows the other Fractals. They're very quick to do. They're fun to do. They're not too difficult, but if you don't know what you're doing, then they do become difficult. So it sort of falls into that category, which I think is just fine. There's also new rewards from one of the NPCs in the Fractal Observatory, Bling 9009 has some new rewards. We also have a new Fractal achievement for Tier 3. You know how we got recommended Fractals for Tier 1 and Tier 2? Well, now there's also a recommended Fractal for Tier 3. So even more Fractal rewards, more incentive for you to do Fractals, more gold you can get from them. And just Fractals are a really great way to get some rewards. Mist locks also now repair your gear. So that's really convenient because a lot of times you'll be in Fractals and continuously die, and your gear will be broken. Well, now if you have the mist lock, then you also can repair your gear, and that's a neat little change they made that I appreciate. There's also several potions from the Fractal vendors that you can get, like potions that increase your power, potions that increase your vitality, toughness, whatnot. Well, now a lot of times these potions will fill up your space in your inventory. You can actually combine these potions now through Mystic Forge and basically create a mega potion that will have all these potions combined into one. It saves you space, and it's a nice little quality of life change. Some of the Fractals have also had some changes. We had some instability changes as well, and some of the main changes that I saw was that the lava in the volcanic Fractal is not going to damage dead bodies anymore. Dredge can now be blinded as well, so that's going to make that Fractal a bit more easier, and a lot of small frustrations were fixed. It's not really making the Fractal easier. I feel like it's just making the Fractals be a bit more convenient. You know, a lot of times you die. When you're on a staircase in the uncategorized Fractal, the uncategorized Fractal is the Asuran Fractal where you had a jumping puzzle, and you have these electrical rolling things roll down the stairs, and you have to climb up the stairs and basically dodge the electric rolling things. Well, a lot of times when you get hit by those, or if a pet gets hit by it, you go down to the bottom and you die, and you have to res yourself. Well, now they've made a change so that if you get hit by these, you go down to the bottom of the stairs, but you do die, but you automatically respawn. You don't need to sit there and wait to be resed. Also, pets will not get hit by the little rolling electricity things anymore. So they've made it a bit more easier. Well, not really much so easier, but they made it less frustrating. A lot of these small changes have made Fractals less frustrating and a bit more enjoyable to do, I would say. Not really necessarily easier. So those are pretty much all the changes we have for Fractals. Like I said, I'll probably make a dedicated video to the new Fractal, and then you'll get more details on that in the future, just like we're doing with the new map. The new Blackline chests have also gotten another update. Now, if you remember 3 weeks ago or so, the Blackline chest got an update so that there will be a seasonal item for every Blackline chest open. So you would get 2 items, and you would get a seasonal item. On a rare occasion, you may get 3 items and a seasonal item. Now, up until now, they have been trick-or-treat bags, and they're related to the Halloween season. Well, now, it seems like they've changed it to the November season, and what everyone's been curious about is what are they going to replace the Halloween bags with? What seasonal item? It's not Christmas yet. So it seems like what they're doing is that if it's not a holiday season, if it's not a time in the game where you can get a seasonal item per se, they're going to add new items that relate to the new map or that relate to some type of new content. Right now, you can get some of the fragments from the new Shiver Peak map, and that's what you're getting out of the Black Lion chest. So that's kind of how they're going to work from now on. I guess every time that a new patch comes out with something huge, with a new map or with some brand new content, or every time a new season comes out, they're going to try to put items in there that are related to the season or a seasonal holiday, or they're going to try to add items that are related to a new map or a new type of currency that they have, or related to some type of new content that you can open up and get some rewards out of that. So that's the new Blackline chest update that we have. Just wanted to throw that out there. World vs. World also had some changes. Simple nameplates are now available, which I think is a really cool feature, because basically what happens is when you're in World vs. World, you have a lot of people in your Zerg most of the time, right? And if you're in these huge battles across different maps, sometimes your screen will get cluttered up with a ton of these names and these nameplates, and you'll have the person's name, you'll have their guild, you'll have their, sometimes you'll have their level, or you'll have their what's it called, their PvP ranking. So lots of stuff is on the screen. With simple nameplates though, it'll just be a dot, and it makes the screen look so much cleaner. It makes enjoying World vs. World a bit more. It makes World vs. World a bit more enjoyable. You have more clarity in the screen, and I think this is a great change. So you can now tick simple nameplates in your options menu, and this is great for World vs. World, and I think it's a really nice change. World vs. World also had some scoring objective changes. We're basically getting more score reward points per objective captured per tick. So that's one of the bigger changes they had in World vs. World as well. Other than that, though, a few bug fixes, and the bug fixes happen every patch, so I don't really go over them. But if you want to check the additional bug fixes out, you can definitely check the patch notes yourself. There was additional bug fixing for Fractals done as well, and for regular open world stuff, but nothing really too huge. Now, one thing that I also forgot to mention earlier on was that there's now a Petrified Wood home instance node. Now, we have several home instances already in the game where you can basically max your home instance out with a candy corn node, with some of the chests from the Heart of Thorns maps, with a Christmas tree, with the sprockets, with the Aurelium node, with the crystal node. Well, now even the blood ruby node you can get. Now they've added a petrified wood node, which means you can now farm petrified wood from your home instance every day, which is another neat addition. Something that they needed to have last patch, but I guess they didn't have it. They forgot about it, or maybe it wasn't ready. Now it's in the game, and for those of you who like maxing your home instance, this is definitely something you can do. And this is definitely something I'm gonna get. You can now get it in Ember Bay. One thing that I also saw while playing this morning, the patch, was that all of our dailies are now in one category, which I think is really cool. It's a small change, but it's so helpful, because a lot of times people will forget about Fractals, because Fractals is not really on the daily menu. Fractals is in the Fractals section. So now daily Fractals, the daily achievements that we usually do, and the daily map achievements are now all in the daily section. So if you're logging on to do your dailies, now you have everything in one spot. Everything's accessible to you, and you can get all your dailies done a bit more efficiently by knowing exactly where they are all in one spot. You don't have to navigate through the achievements section too many times. So I think that's a really neat change. We also have Dragon Wings Backpack Lighter, the lighter combo in the gem store, so you want to get that. We also have Quaggin things in the gem store at 20% off. Most of the Quaggin cosmetic things or the Quaggin items in the gem store are 20% off. So if you want some Quaggin things, check the gem store. It's only for this week. So if you want them, get them quick, because the week's going to be over sooner than you think, and that 20% will be gone. Now, there's several other things I want to go over, but I think I'm going to keep those for their own separate videos, because I don't want to make this video too long. Those are pretty much all the general patch changes. There's also a mini arene that you can get. You have to go through a quest to acquire the mini arene. I'll make a separate video on that. I'll also make a separate video on the new Fractal. I'll make a separate video on the new map. And we're also going to make a separate video on the Reddit AMA. There was also a Reddit AMA where the developers answered some questions. I'll probably give you a summary on that in a separate video as well. So plenty of videos coming up very soon. That's pretty much all the patch notes. Those are pretty much all the important things that we had. The patch may seem small because there aren't many features. I know the last big patch we had like salvage all, and we had like all these cool little features that where, you know, fractals got remodeled. We had a new fractal look where the fractal observatory completely changed. So last patch we definitely had a lot of more features. This patch, it's more so you know, the map and the new fractal. I feel like it's a bit more content, I guess. The patch may seem small, but it's actually really big, and I really like this patch. This is probably one of my favorite patches, mainly just because the map is so cool. The map is so beautiful, and so far I have played the first and second mission of the story. We will have a video that goes over the story, do a little recap, give my thoughts and opinions in a separate video as well as we usually do. So plenty of videos coming up in the future. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and subscribe. We'd love to have you on board and you'll be up to date with all these videos. And if you like this video, you found it helpful, you found it informative, go ahead and leave a like at the bottom. Would really appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, you want to talk about anything that you liked in this patch, go and leave a comment down below. I'll be down there answering any questions you have, talking to you guys as usual. And if you want to donate $8 to my Patreon or $3 to get all the perks that we have, go ahead and check the Patreon page out in the top right corner of the screen. Click the card and it'll bring you to the page. And if you want to check out my vlogging channel, the tutorials channel, the music channel, or the advice channel, click the links in the description as well as on the end screen. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are having a fun time in game and having a good evening. This is GSmaniamsmart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.